Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to an episode of PATTAY'S Performance. Today we have back in the driveway our Ariens commission build. Ariens Sno-Tek 20. It's got a 2.8cc engine stuff on it. This is your first gen Sno-Tek 20. So, I have to do my research. I didn't get a chance. Going on a little bit of a tangent here. That traditionally, the newer models that we see do not come with a 2.8cc engine. They come with a 136, which is still good, but it could be better. Now, this one, I'm not sure if they maybe ordered two models, one with electric start and one without. But this is first gen, comes with a 2.8cc engine, and quite frankly, honestly, I'd rather have the bigger engine than the electric start. But, to backtrack to what happened is I picked this up late at night. Didn't know they didn't come with electric start, but handed them the money anyway because it ran and drove, and the price is right. Finished the other Sno-Tek build and put it up for sale anyway, just to see what the market was. Bing bang boom. Someone said they'll take it. Told him I sold it. He says, I see you have other snowblowers. What can you do for me? So I tried getting him into the Craftsman 24-inch, and he said no, he needs a 20-inch snowblower, and that is it. Doesn't need something big. Space is an issue. So I says, all right, listen, I got one, but it doesn't have electric start, and he said he will take it. Put electric start on it. So we agreed to his original offer of $380, which is record setting for me for a 20-inch snowblower. So, in the process of my restyle restoration video and retrofitting the electric start, I was servicing the machine. The Auger Belt had a nick in it. Now here are our belts. Using mechanical instinct, which one do you think is the Auger Belt or the drive belt? Or is this the drive belt and this is the Auger Belt? This is your drive belt. Size matters. And this is the Auger Belt. So, we're going to dive into that. But, another side note, one of my subscribers, who is active in the comment section, which is wonderful. We have healthy conversations. And it's really good. I really appreciate it. It's good to see what other people experience, good and bad, on their spectrum. He's always questioning things that I do, and maybe he does the same thing as me. He hasn't revealed that yet. But I stand behind practically anything I say and do here on the channel, and that is including Royal Purple Oil. So anyway, Mr. Kim said, Jason, the cheap paint turns gray. So, I'll be honest with you. I used the flat black cheap spray paint on handlebars for lawnmowers and engine components. Right? If you look at the MTD Craftsman snowblowers, the newer ones, that whole engine is a flat black. So I always recondition them using that flat black paint. And he says over time it turns gray. So who knows how much time is overtime, but this has been sitting on the back of my pickup truck since Sunday, and we had rain, and it still looks flat black to me. Nonetheless, I am still going to put a protective coat over it, which I always do to prevent the gray. But on the other hand, on lawnmowers, because the profit just isn't there per se, and the money isn't a life-changing amount that I get for them, I don't put a protective coat over the flat black. So, I guess, if you're going to start spraying flat black, just be wary, according to Mr. Kim, that it might turn gray. So keep that in the back of your mind, whether you're flipping something or doing something for yourself. If you guys had the same experience or completely different, feel free to chime in, right? Together we grow. So anyway, let's dive into changing the belts on this thing and getting this build done, because guess what came in the mail super early? Look at this. That's a brand new engine. 208cc to go onto the Ariens that I borrowed the parts off of this. So, guess what's going to be our next project to rush in and out of service? So that'll probably be tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's going to be crazy. So anyway, back to this. So let me get you guys set up on the stand, and we'll start changing some belts. Alright guys, so here's your belt cover. Okay? You have two 10mm bolts on each side. So I'm not going to take you. Now I left these loose because obviously I took the machine apart to paint it. So they're just 10mm, like everything else. Take that off, and we will reveal the belt cover. Now, I have never done belts on this machine, so we might have to put it in the service position. So, whoops, got a little overzealous. Belt cover comes off, and here are your belts. Now, I wonder if we could do this without taking the machine apart. Obviously, the bigger belt is the auger, and the smaller belt is the drive. So, we are just going to try and wiggle these out. No tools necessary. We'll see. Can we get it? These are guides. Sometimes these guides are a pain. Nope. Look at that. Pull the belt off. Right? And then you can just pull it using, hold it here, and pull your pull stop. Obviously make sure the snowblower is small. And here comes our auger belt. The auger belt is off. Now, I think we're going to have to squeeze the auger handle, right? So we release the blade brake, and now the belt pops off. All need to do it. Let's see. Now, if you can't do it with one hand, right? Then just take a rag and tie it down, so then you free up the other hand. Let's see. Now, I should have paid attention to see if sometimes Ariens likes to put a like a holding mechanism to make sure the belt doesn't slip off. Let's see what we have here. I think they do. Alright, yep, I can see it right here. Alright, service position we go. So here we are down this path again. Now you don't have to, but I'm going to because it's easy for me. I'm going to pull the tires off just to access all 6 bolts to the belly pan with ease. Then we can see what's going on. So remember, 3 on each side. I'll show you one side right here. It's going to mess up my nice paint job I just did. So I guess we'll be doing a touch-up spray, if I feel like it, later on. And then of course what you do to one side, you do to the other. Now what I don't like about this, flat out, is that you have to bend the tabs to get to it. Oh, okay, so this one did it. Oh, wow, look at this. So here we are. Get all this stuff out. And this is where we were talking about Ariens' blade brake and cover. So what you can't see, right? Alright, so what I'm doing here's our blade brake, right? Now we could do 2 things. We could disconnect the spring here, so we could swing this up and down, or just make our lives a lot easier and not do that. And just pull it by hand, and if you can't pull it by hand, then just disconnect that spring. here is our drive belt. Ta-da! Now this is why I replaced it. Look at that. Who knows how long that would have lasted, but no bueno. No bueno. You definitely would have been stuck. Now, we have to get this auger belt down. Excuse me. Alright, so snowblower back down. We're going to do this jog again. Okay. And here is our auger belt. So let's see if we could just pick this up with our bare hand, and just like the other one. So what we're going to do is simply put tension on it, pull it, and pull the recoil at the same time too, and see if we can get the belt to slip off, which we just did. And see, now it's nice and loose, right? So let's put the belt up one more, pick it up again, right? Because now the belt is loose. And see if we have enough slack, right? It's plastic pulley. See if we have enough slack to just push it down, and we do. Our auger belt is off. Now we're just going to simply go back here, and here's our auger belt. So cute! Now I gotta go get my new auger belt, which I have right here. I will put the part numbers. I also have pictures. You guys know how to roll. But then I'm also going to put the part numbers in the description. So far, right, the only tools we needed was the 3/8 socket and hardware to access the belly pin. So actually, the difficulty level on this ain't much at all. So what I'm doing is, remember, we got slack when we put it in the middle, but we're going to try and put it on the pulley first and see if we could just snake it over. So pulley here, bring you guys back around, and then let's see here. Right, so I can see the auger belt. Does the transmission tilt? No, this transmission is not tilting forward. Okay, so now what we're going to do is, remember when we put it in between the two pulleys? We're going to do that. We're going to get some slack. Actually, we're going to put it all the way. Put it closest to the engine. So we have tons and tons of slack. And then from there, we'll slide it onto the pulley. Spin it by hand. Now we have it. Hey, you know what? Just for your viewing pleasure, I'm going to take it off the service position. But you guys can keep it in the service position. You guys can keep it in the service position, just so you guys have a view of what I'm doing. You see here how I put it? This is where it's supposed to go, but I have it back here so we have extra slack. So now what we're going to do, right, is just put the belt, start it by hand. Remember, keep good pressure on it, and just pull the recoil. And the belt will automatically align. You see that? Look at that. See? It slid right in. Now, we're going to do our auger belt kind of sort of the same way. We're just going to stick it down here, right? Work its way. We'll put it back into the service position. I guess, you know, a lot of up and down. And we're going to get good eyes on our belt. Let's see. Work it. Work it past the bolts on the crank, on the auger pulley per se. That's on the bottom. Oh, man. Let's see. What's the holdup? What is the holdup? No, it's funny. Alright, so let's leave that stuck in there for a minute. Remember, we're going to pull this flap down. Alright, and let's get our belt in the groove, which we have successfully done. Now, let's get a flat blade screwdriver and we're going to work this belt out. So I'm using a pry bar, but you could use a nice flat blade screwdriver, something thick. You don't want something that's going to pierce the belt. So obviously the thicker it is, the less chance you have of it going through. So it's hung up on this one bolt. And you see that? I pushed it right through. Ah. Success, success. Now we're going to continue to pull back and work this belt around the machine. Is it caught up top somewhere? Yes, it is. Alright, so if you have tension, that means the pulley, the belt slid on the pulley, and you want to keep the tension off. So let me free the tension so we have lots of room to play with. Okay. See how this belt went limp? Which is exactly what you want. So we're going to pull back. And now the belt is definitely in the groove. We are done. On the bottom. Now, we have to put the belly pan back on. So the same way it came off, it's the same way it goes back on. Blocking it. Oh, I'm sorry. So what I do, you don't have a choice, right? The top goes in first. Which sucks because it's messing up my paint job. That side. Okay, we are in. Remember to start all of these by hand. About my Milwaukee Impact, right? You could change the settings. So we're going to put down 1. Perfect. 1 is all we need. Nice and easy. Slide the wheels back on. Alright, so the wheels are on. Let's bring it down. And bring it back in here. So if we remember correctly, remember we need to get it inside. inside these belt tensioners, inside this pulley, right? Get it nice and firm, pressed against, like so. See that? And then just pull. And see if the belt will take. And look at that. Natural. Now, you must confirm that everything works. You're on. Switch on. Let's see. Obviously put your belt cover on and you are good to go. So, that is it, guys. Sno-Tek build done. Obviously going to do some touch-up paint work because we had to get some stuff out. I chipped some of the paint when I was removing stuff. So I'll touch that up and I'll call this guy and see when he wants to pick this up and square up. So anyway, guys, I just showed you guys how to change your belts on your Ariens Sno-Tek 20. This should apply to all generations. I will check the 2 model numbers that I have in my records to see if the belt sizes are the same. If they're not, the concept still is. I wouldn't be surprised if they are not the same. But always check your model and serial number, which is found on the side of your machine. So nonetheless, if you guys found this video helpful, smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and guess what? I'll see you guys on the next episode of PATTAY'S Performance. Later.